Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy MMA Reloaded. We are live and direct, folks, for another edition of MMA Reloaded on the mic. You know what time it is. You know how we do business right here, live and direct, as always. So, folks, welcome to episode 21 of MMA Reloaded on the mic, folks. And I want to thank you, folks, for everyone who's tuning in post live and who tuned in while it was live to MMA Reloaded, the Real Talk 50th episode, where we capped off the 3-part saga of our 50th episode. It's more of an extravaganza. It was to make history, and we did, and I did that. You know what I mean? So, folks, as we carry on now, folks, I have big shows. We got big shows coming up. We got 2 more this week, this weekend. So don't go anywhere, man, and don't go anywhere, man, and stay tuned to that, to them phones, to them laptops. Stay tuned to MMA Reloaded on Instagram, on Twitter as well. Yeah, folks. And just just stay tuned to the scene, man, because there's a lot of things coming through, folks, here for myself at MMA Reloaded. 2 more shows, like I said, this week. Yeah, folks, we got 1 more show next week after that. So I cannot wait to bring them to you guys. Stay tuned for the announcements. There'll be 2 Real Talk shows, episode 51 and 52. And there will be an MMA Reloaded on the mic, episode 22. So, folks, today, episode 21, it gives me pleasure, and it gives me a real honor to speak to someone new always. Whenever I get to speak to someone new and get a new guest on, I love it because it brings a new that dichotomy to the show. You know what I mean? So, folks, today I will be speaking with Giannis Skordilis. He is a Greek-born kickboxer. Yeah, folks, multiple time champion, multiple time kickboxing champion, folks, if I just get his accomplishments up. So he was a 2-time World Kickboxing European champion. He is a 2-time International Kickboxing Federation British champion, a 1-time World Kickboxing Greek champion as well. You know what I mean, folks? And he is a savage inside the cage, a savage finisher in there. Had his chance to go to Glory Kickboxing after winning the Road to Glory tournament, yeah, folks, but he never. I don't think he's got that opportunity yet. If you look at his highlights, you would understand why he deserves it. So we'll touch on that, folks, and we're going to touch on so much more as we go along. So, ladies and gentlemen, Giannis Skordilis will join us here tonight. Will join us here today, folks, in 20 minutes at 5 p.m. UK time. So folks, as we come off, 2 great fight nights over the past weekend. Bellator 258 and UFC Vegas 26, which was supposed to be headlined by Corey Sandhagen and the return of TJ Dillashaw, but it was headlined by Marina Rodriguez and Michelle Watts. So folks, I've heard a lot of comments, a lot of bullshit being chatted about Marina and Michelle not deserving that spot to be in the main event. You know what I mean? So it just haters, some bullshit. There's just some haters, man. You get them haters, you get them typical sofa coaches, the couch coaches, the casuals who don't know shit about this sport, but yet are still trying to give their 2 cents as if they do. So let me tell you something about Marina Rodriguez and Michelle Waterson. Yeah, Michelle Waterson is one of the best pure martial artists in the women's MMA today. She was a lot. She dominated the Invicta atomweight scene. Came into the UFC, faced the best, nothing but the best from the start. Um, and then for Marina, she is. You know what? She's a beast in the cage. Yeah, there ain't no doubt about it. You know, she has her moments. Um, you know, she's 13-1 right now. Number 11. Well, I think she's going to be higher right now after beating Michelle Waterson, but she was number 11 in the rankings coming in. I think new contenders, and when we see new contenders rise up in the women's divisions like bantamweight, strawweight, flyweight, I it intrigues me. It intrigues me a lot because you know, you see new faces, you see legit competition, you see the way, you know, new fighters that do come into the women's divisions against veterans that we already know and love, and how they stack up. You know, it's something real interesting. It brings a new layer into them women's divisions, and um, at strawweight, I think Marina Rodriguez is a very good symbol of that. Um, I also think Angela Hill, you know, is a veteran who deserves a bit better than she's getting. I think already. I think after dominating Ashley Yoder, she kind of proved that you know what, this isn't the fight I wanted. She wanted Claudia Gadelia after losing to Claudia in a controversial decision. She wants Tisha Torres in a rematch. You know, there are certain fights, you know, that I think the UFC knows a fighter deserves, whether it's a rematch coming off a controversial loss, or it's a fight which you know ended in a low blow or eye poke, and you know, in my opinion, it's sort of you know it's sort of right there in a matchmaker's mind, Sean Shelby in this case, in Sean Shelby's mind, to rematch that shit up. You know, um, like Eric Anders versus Darren Stewart, I would rematch that straight away. Yeah, um, there are certain things, certain fights that should be rematched that the UFC doesn't, and I think I think we see that a lot in the women's divisions. But folks, new contenders in the women's divisions, like women's flyweights, new challengers for Valentina Shevchenko. Um, I think Valentina is probably going to remain UFC flyweight champion until she retires. I don't see anybody taking that off her. Not at the not in the slightest. I think there are still real tough challenges for Valentina Shevchenko at 125. And so, you know, you can't really count out the women's flyweight division. You know, if we were going to count it out, I would think the UFC would think even less of it. You know what I mean, as they did for the women's featherweight division. So, folks, that women's flyweight division, yeah, with Valentina defeating Jessica Andrade, she's defeated Caitlin Chukagian. She's taken out Jennifer Maia. She's still got Joanne Calderwood, yeah, Vivian Arajo, yeah. She's still got Alexa Grasso, who's coming up strong, yeah, and finding her maturity and her footing. You got Tyler Santos, 17-1. Miranda Maverick, you know what I'm saying? You know, and you got the veteran Lucky Lauren Murphy, who's probably going to be up next for a championship shot, coming off her win streak. And you got Cynthia Calvillo. Man, Cynthia Calvillo, I think, would be a great matchup for Valentina Shevchenko. Young, vibrant, you know. She's got the style. She's got that ruthlessness. She's got that modern day way of thinking, you know what I mean, as a fighter. Joanne Calderwood versus Valentina in a striking battle. I can't wait to see that. I think that will be a great fight too. I think Calvillo versus Calderwood would be a great fight. Viviana Rajo, Tyler Santos, Andrea Lee. You got so many fighters in this division, folks. At the UFC Women's 125 division that are willing to challenge, that are waiting to challenge Valentina. So I wouldn't count out any contenders in there yet. But folks, heading into new news before we do the particulars and invite Giannis Skordilis to the show. The PFL heavyweight fight between Fabrizio Verdun and Hernan Ferreira has been overturned, folks. The decision's been overturned due to the fact that earlier in the fight, Verdun had Ferreira in a triangle choke, but referee Keith Peterson did not see Ferreira tap. That's not Hernan Ferreira's fault. So the commission, New Jersey Athletic Commission, has overturned the decision and has called it a no contest. So, folks, in my opinion, when I see something like this, and we saw it, in one Alistair Overeem fight when he had the guy in a guillotine choke, there was a tap, but it was never called. It was all instant replayed, everything, but it was never overturned. Bro, when you see something like that, yeah, you need to basically look. The referee needs to be in that position to call the action, to call a decision. In submissions, like guillotine chokes or triangle chokes, where the fighter on the receiving end, their hands are, they're inside, usually trapped inside the opponent, or they're trapped inside the guard, so you can't really see the tap, where it comes from, how it's going to come. So it is quite hard to see it, which divvies the point of instant replay, which I do appreciate. And PFL used instant replay in this case to review the fight. But I don't believe that after Hernan Ferreira blatantly knocked out Fabricio Verdun, blatantly knocked him out to earn the win, yeah, that you're gonna just take it away from him. Despite if he tapped or not from that triangle choke, you're going to take away an obvious victory seen by everyone across the fucking world away from Hernan Ferreira. I think Hernan Ferreira should be the winner. It's not his fault. It's a referee's fault. So I think Hernan Ferreira should be the winner of that fight. But, folks, who am I to judge? So in that case, folks, Ferreira and Verdun both have 1 point now. 5 and 6 ranked respectively. So, folks, I don't know. If you guys want to throw your comments in there about that PFL fight at PFL 3 between Fabricio Verdun and Hernan Ferreira, please do. It just sucks. It just sucks at the end of the day to see that happen. So, folks, we're going to do the particulars right now and invite Giannis Skordilis to the show. Don't move, folks, and stay tuned. Keep tuned. Go get some booze or something. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back after doing the particulars. You know we have to do business, folks. So, folks, we are live and direct for episode 21 of MMA Reloaded on the mic with multiple-time kickboxing champion Giannis Skordilis. Yeah, folks, and we are expecting Giannis to join us, folks, in the next 5 minutes. So, folks, before that happens, before Giannis Skordilis joins us, folks, and we talked about UFC Fight Night this past weekend, main evented by Marina Rodriguez and Michelle Waterson. So I want to talk about the co-main event where Donald Cerrone faced off with Alex Morono. Yeah, folks, in my opinion, this was a passing of the torch. I see a lot of Donald Cerrone in Alex Morono in terms of the aggression, the movement. It reminds me of prime Cowboy. And so it kind of divvies up the decision, you know, everything that's been going around after the fight. Should Donald Cowboy Cerrone retire from mixed martial arts? My opinion, yes. He's got Daniel Rodriguez there. You know, he can work with Daniel Rodriguez and still keep relevant in the game by cornering him and stuff like that. Then you got, that thing where it's like what Anderson Silva said before Anderson Silva retired. Before Anderson Silva left the UFC, he goes, you know what, bro? For fighters, it's hard. It's hard. If you've been in the game as long as Donald Cerrone has, it's hard to say no. It's hard to say goodbye, man. It's like Ric Flair in professional wrestling. Ric Flair should step away straight away, but he doesn't. And I see the same thing with Donald Cerrone because he enjoys and he loves what he does so much to the point that he doesn't want to call it. And that's the same with Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva kept wanting to just test himself against the best. And shit knows he's done that. You know? Legends from from yesteryear or last generation, not many of them come back to test themselves against modern day fighters. Because maybe they think they can't hang anymore, or maybe they think that this is just out of their reach, and at 39, 38 years old, 40, 41, with the miles they have on them, I think the best person to look at that, the best fighter from the last generation, a legend, to continue fighting the best, to continue fighting the youngest, brightest stars in this modern era is Andrei Olofsky. Like it or not, Andrei Olofsky, folks, is 40, yeah? And still, at his age, he is killing it. Right? He is killing it. Win streak, 2, 3, 5 win streaks, yeah? So what? He lost to Tom Aspinall, man. He's still got the drive and that heart of a warrior, of a fighter. He's still got that drive, that mentality to basically say, you know what, I can hang with these young guys. Even at my age, I don't care how old I am. And we saw that mentality with Randy Couture. We've seen that mentality a lot of times. But it's your miles on your body. It's what your body can take now, as opposed to what your body could take, say, 10, 20 years ago. There is always going to be a limitation. There's always going to be, something that, limits a fighter from competing at their prime as they get older. And that's why strength and conditioning is so important. That's why cardio is so important. That's why eating right is so important. Because you never know. fighters never know, man. How they're gonna feel after that, this or the other thing. Yeah, and against Alex Morono, I think Donald Cerrone was just overwhelmed, man. Morono's young, he's hungry. He is as hungry and as intelligent a fighter as I've seen. He knows when to go for it. You know what I mean? He knows when to go for the kill. Yeah, he's lost a couple of hard fights against Chaos and against Chaos Williams and stuff like that, but he's still a very talented guy, and I think that was a show-up performance from Alex Morono. And I think if Chaos Williams defeats Matt Semmelsberger, I would love to see Chaos Williams and Alex Morono mix it up again, man. Chaos knocked him out, and no doubt, man, Morono, that's got to be rocking in his crotch, you know what I mean, after that performance against Cerrone. Maybe he wants that retribution. Who knows? You know what I mean? So folks, when we talk about that night, when we talk about that night, we also talk about Bellator 258, which came on that Friday night, where we saw Sergio Pettis defeat Juan Archuleta to become the Bellator bantamweight champion. So, folks, before we get into that, Giannis Skordilis is ready, and so are we, man. Let's do this. Hey, Giannis, how are you, brother?
Yes, very good. How are you?
Sorry, I'm very well, man. Thank you for asking. So first of all, man, thank you so much for coming on the show, bro. It's a pleasure to have you. And I want to just ask, how are you doing, man? How are you doing? How was everything for you, bro, in COVID and lockdown and the whole 2020?
Perfect. I mean, well, I went back to Greece, so I was there for almost 4 months.
Oh, snap!
So
really?
It was great.
And what's the COVID situation like out in Greece? Is it not that much, or?
Well, the thing is, it's quite way stricter than actually here. Yeah, you're not. Whenever you go, we have a 9 p.m. curfew. Where it was back then, it was 9 p.m. curfew. Now, obviously, the days come brighter, so I think they moved it to 11. However, every time you go out, you need to message the government that like has a permission, and then you are allowed to for just pretty much go for 5 reasons. Either you go be groceries, supermarket, pharmacy, if you want to train, or if you want to support, like provide help to like families and stuff. Yeah, it's actually quite strict, and then you have to wear a mask inside, outside.
Okay. So it's not, bro. I think the messaging, the government thing is actually quite good, man.
Yeah, well, at the beginning, it was actually working. But later on, as they say, you can't really beat the Greeks. We can't cheat any system existing in the world. So we found ways to just adapt, really.
So, bro, I wanna just say thank you once again for coming through, and for those fans who don't know who Giannis Skordilis is, bro. Sorry if I butchered your name there, man. But
that's right.
How did it all start for you, though, man? In martial arts and kickboxing, bro.
Oh God, we're going back in. I was 4.5, 5.
Oh.
Basically, I was watching Ninja Turtles, so I was like, well, I want to be like them. That's pretty much how it started, and I was like, why not? And then I was playing football in the same time. Then I took place. I took place in the European Championship. Back then, it was the WACO in actually in Corfu, where I'm coming from.
Oh yeah.
If I remember correct. And then I took the first place. And then everyone who was taking the first place, you're taking the ticket to go to the World Championship, like as juniors.
Yeah.
So I took place, and then I took the second place.
Okay.
So I was like, well, Dad, I don't want to play any more football. That's it. So yeah, I was doing karate. I was doing actually a Korean martial art, which is in Taekwondo with it's like a mix of taekwondo and karate. So it's called Hwalmudo. It's with Korean martial arts. Um, and then I was doing kickboxing as well, and then I was playing football. So I was always active.
Wow.
But yeah, I think that was a very critical moment. I was like, Dad, I'm really sorry. I don't want to play any more football. And then I was just going into kickboxing. And then I just carry on fighting. I was representing Greece in 2011. It was in WACO, the European Championship, I think, in Italy in 2011. I would represent the country. And then in 2011, if I remember correct, that was when I did my first step in pro fighting.
Nice, bro.
Yeah, it was. I was always in the rings, really, since then.
Wow, man. So even while you were playing football, you were partaking in various different martial arts. So talk to me about your experience competing in Italy, man, and what was the atmosphere like at that time?
Well, it was because we were representing Greece. You know, you having your like you feel the pressure. Like, well, you know, I've got my country in my back, but I need to represent that accordingly. And then it was obviously because it was my really first international fight abroad as a junior, especially like 15, 16. I was like, whoa, everything looks like I'm in a dream. But yeah, I didn't have the result I was expecting. It was like you're fighting like every day until you get to the first place. Yeah. So if I remember well, I think we lost really easy. Ooh. However, I feel it was because obviously lack of experience, but in the same time, obviously it was the nerves, like coming from Corfu, little small island, all the way to the middle of Italy. It was like, whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, but you know, thank God now we just make it good steps, and then we're fighting all over the world.
But you must have taken a lot away from that experience as well, right, bro? As in being at your first international fight, and you know,
yeah,
after
100%. You know, from really young, you know, just fighting abroad. I've traveled all over the world, fighting all over the world. So now, you know, you look at it differently.
And tell me about representing Greece, bro. Of course, you know, not many fans will be familiar with the scene in Greece for kickboxing and martial arts, bro. So, how is it? How is the scene in Greece?
In Greece, we do have fighters, like good fighters, even like, you know, 70 kilos, 77 kilos, 9 kilos. We got loads of fighters. However, it's not in the same level as we are in UK.
Okay.
And then that's because it's, you know, it's London, you know, you are in UK. So obviously you're expecting like way more population. So you're like expecting more people to fighting like even in the clubs. So that's is all about luck. However, now people, especially in Greece, they're just getting into martial arts because I think obviously they did a big step with the UFC. It's all over the world. So everyone is involved in martial arts now. But yeah, 100% we have a tough fighters. Yeah, we do. You know, we have a really tough fighters fighting abroad as well. I've helped some of them as well to just come over in UK. Nice. Yeah, so now the scene is like, I think it's growing. Is on the right track, I think.
And you know that's such a big thing right now in combat sports for a lot of international fighters, even a lot of local fighters in the UK. They pride themselves on patriotism and representing their countries to the extent, you know. What does that mean to you, Giannis, to represent Greece in competition?
First of all, you can really tell what does it mean for me for my workout music. Yeah. I always have my flag in my back. And then I always use the Greek song Zorba the Greek.
Okay.
So you know, I always have my interest with that because I represent Greece, and then I think everyone knows about this, so everyone is clapping in the same time. So I'm trying to make, you know, like a little bit of an atmosphere. So yeah, it's a big deal. I always wanna, you know, I always represent Greece, and then that's my passion. Doesn't matter where I am in the world. I always go and carry the Greek flag. So it's a big responsibility, but at the same time, it gives me motivation to just, let's go in the fight, let's do it.
That's great, bro. I mean, it's so good to hear, that representing your country means and gives you that extra drive and motivation to do what you do, man. I understand you teach and you do personal training as well, bro. How did that come about, bro? Why how did you began to make the decision? Oh, Giannis, we're gonna be a teacher, man.
Well, the thing is, I came here in 2014, so it's been like almost 7 years.
Yeah.
I found my first move was back in Luton, where I started training with the Storm Gym, Amir Sudashit. And then we have a really good bond, like we really connected, like fighting wise, character. He's a great coach. And then while I was training, I was doing my PTs, and then in the same time I was teaching the kids classes.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's where I did my university as well. I did sport and exercise science. So I was really, whatever I was picking up from university, I was trying to adapt into even to the kids or even to my clients.
Yeah.
That's how really I get into that. And then literally I just carry on doing that and then helping out people with the fitness, like anything like biomedical, like kinetics, strength conditioning, fitness, all of this. That's pretty much my area.
So you do, so you teach classes, right? Kids class and.
So at the minute, I'm just fighting, and I'm fighting. I'm doing my personal training with clients.
Oh yeah.
I'm running. I'm a club manager in a kickboxing fitness club in. It's more like high intensity kickboxing fitness club in London.
Oh nice. Whereabouts, bro?
That's in Seven Sisters.
Oh, Seven Sisters, right, man. I might come pay a visit one time.
Anytime.
So I mean, when you do personal training, right? Do you teach? Do you have one set of an approach where you teach everyone the same way, or do you teach everyone a different way? And
well, obviously, you have to. There's a big process that you follow when you pick up a client. Obviously, I've got clients who they just want to learn kickboxing. However, I've got clients, they're from losing weight. They just want to, feel like live better, because that's what I think. The sport and the fitness has to be in our life. It needs to be a habit. So I've got any kind of clients, but obviously you need to see what's their target, why they want to do PT, and then you just literally break it down. Okay, this is how we're gonna do it. This is what there is questions. Obviously, I will ask them about what's the goal, what's the role with the fitness, why they want to do it, how many times they want to do it, and then we're trying to get from there. So obviously, us even with teaching or even picking up a client, they have pretty much the same structure. You need to find out what they're good at or why they're not. Maybe sometimes they have lack of experience with nutrition, or they have lack of experience with mobility. All of these kind of areas, we're trying to minimize and then make it as try to sort things out as easier for the clients.
100%, 100%, man. No one's the same, right? And you can't really
But there is a loads of approaching anything, like is how you're gonna explain, let's say the same punch to two different people. Someone pick it up easily, someone not. So you need to find out how can you explain the same punch or kick or anything to anyone.
I mean, does that just come down to patience, I guess, bro, and sort of just
obviously you don't expect anyone to just overnight to turn into pro fighter or just lose like 5 kg in a month. You need to be patient, and then in the same time is how, as a personal trainers, we put the effort, because there is don't get me wrong, there is loads of people out there that they're just taking the money and then okay, that's fine. But at the end of the day, is how you're going to help someone to get something good out of it.
Oh, nice. Yeah. No, 100%. I agree with that, bro. It's the effort that you put in, they have to put in as much as you do too, right, to get the most out of it. So I want to go back to your career, man. I was doing my homework and doing my research, and I was intrigued about your K1 kickboxing experience, bro. You were on the prelims, I think, on the 2016 World Cup, and there's so much history that goes along with the K1 kickboxing brand, man, and that franchise. How was that experience for you, bro, to compete at K1? And what
Well,
was
I
the
think it's everyone who's fighting in kickboxing, K1, they just want to fight in glory, K1, one
yeah,
now and one FC. So it's a it's a big dream. And then obviously when they announced me, like obviously when they when we are in contact with the K1, and then they approve that I'm alright to fight, and then I've got the correct record. I couldn't actually believe it. It was like, are you sure they're talking about me? Um, it was a big thing, and then obviously that motivates you, that gives you mental power and strength to just carry on, training harder, eating like much better than than you used to be in the other fights, because you have to prove yourself. So someone pick you to just go and fight in that ring. So you can't turn them down. You just need to fight. Leave everything in the ring.
100%.
Um, so when we went actually in Bosnia, and then
Yeah,
it was the K1. It was the most organized, from any aspect, from taking the fighters to the ring, sorry, to the venue, from how every fighter would be structured, and then what is going to go to the changing room, what you're having in the changing room, like food, everything was so perfectly organized. You didn't have to do anything. Everything was ready for you. Um, and then obviously announcing in the I had my family actually over there, so
oh nice.
normally wherever I go, I'm trying to get either my mom or dad, just to leave them, a little bit of travel with me.
Yeah,
So obviously that's another reason that you have to fight like extra, like more.
more.
It was an amazing feeling. It was awesome.
Yeah, man. And having your family there must have put the icing on the cake, right, Giannis? I mean,
Exactly, winning, celebrating together.
100%, and you won as well.
Yes.
So after that, then you went to Road to Glory, right? And you competed in that tournament. You won the tournament, but but but
Officially.
but what actually confused me was you never really got the opportunity at Glory.
Ah, all right, that hurts. The story hurts me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's right. I need to tell that to people as well, though. That's fine.
I'm
So
so sorry.
basically, officially, I won the two fights, quarterfinal, semi-final with a TKO. First one was John. Is that John? Yeah, Joe Johnston, I think, from up north.
Okay.
That was a TKO in the second round, and then the second fighter in semi-finals was Alex Kubler, which is it was a second. We have fought three times, and I've beaten him twice. He beat me once, but technical knockout again. And then the final was with Sam. Sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. Omomongbe up north.
Uh, let's have a look. Uh,
You see, he's from up north. Anyway, so
yeah.
I obviously lost on points. Sorry, I won on points, and then officially I won the two fights contract.
Yes.
Now it was I was training because they give us a date in then the following year
Mm.
in 2018 to fight what's his name? Oh God, I think he's number two on Glory rankings.
Okay.
He fought the oh God, I forgot the names. He fought the Bulgarian guy.
Oh. Um. Oh, geez. Uh,
what's his name?
You know,
Anyway, I think he's in the top 5 in the rankings. I think it's 2 or 1, 3, something like this.
do you know which event he fought at? Which
It
glory
was
event?
so basically they called us and then they said to us it was in the LA, Las Vegas, no LA or Los Angeles or Las Vegas, I don't remember, in March. And then they contact us as we're gonna be a standby fighter. So I said fine, no problem. And then they put the Bulgarian guy to fight him. Anyway, I said I was training for that, I was ready. And the next call was in the 2nd of May, which is happening in Birmingham. However, because it was 2nd of May, a week before, I had my university exams, which I said, I'm really sorry, guys. I'm not gonna leave my university just to fight once on Glory. So that's how it happened. And then the third call, it was 15th of September. However, in the same day, my coach Amir has the same show. And then he was like, I'm not gonna leave you to go all the way to Chicago because that's when it was. Justified with no actual coach in your biggest glory performance. So I'm not gonna leave you, which is I understand. And then the fourth call, it was meant to happen 27th of November in London,
No way.
but it didn't happen. The whole show cancelled.
No way.
And then I took a fight in China.
Yes. Yeah.
I fought in China. It was 15th of November, 75 kilos out of my way. I still, I had to fight because I was literally for a year I wasn't fighting. And then this is where I dislocated my shoulder. So I had an injury in the fight. I dislocated my shoulder, and I came back. I was doing physio. I was doing all rehab. And then the 2019, Philip Tiu from Muay Thai Grand Prix contact us, and then I fairly say that he said to us, you need a warm-up fight before you go back on Glory or whatever you do. Right. And then apparently Glory says you need to take a proof from us in order to fight in a different show. And I'm like, guys, I cannot fight in the in the biggest promotion with no fights after being with injury for a year. And then I think that's where we just lost the communication. We are like not communicating very well. And then it's like, I'm really sorry, we need to terminate your contract because you agreed to fight without taking our permission.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit, bro.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, man. That sucks.
Yeah, and it's sad because I was out back then. I would be the first Greek guy who signed a contract with Glory.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Oh shit. Yes.
No one. Yeah. And then obviously months later, another guy with the same name as me, Giannis Skordilis, 95 plus. He fought on Glory.
Yeah. The name rings a bell to me. Yeah, man.
Yeah, Giannis Skordilis. He was in a 4-man tournament with big names actually.
But how? Competing at MTP, the Muay Thai Grand Prix. How was that for you, man? Of course.
I was excited. I was excited to go back. I was excited after going back to the injury. I did few. Obviously, I lost from a really tough opponent, Artur Saladiak. I did a couple of mistakes with my weight. I was overweight, and then it was just it was just really tough for me after I think it was 8 months, just to go finding my weight, adapting and stuff. That's no excuse about losing. Is if I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. I've lost fair and square. So it was obviously the biggest promotion, in one of the biggest promotions in UK, and obviously O2. We had about 100 people like from Luton, Storm Gym coming all over. Yeah. So we have loads of fans over there.
And it was programmed on the UFC Fight Pass as well.
Exactly.
So you must have been. I
think it was only the last 3 fights, not all the.
Oh, not all the card.
No.
Okay. I mean that must suck.
Yeah. From one point it was better because I lost.
But of course, you know, knowing that you would have got a chance to fight on the UFC Fight Pass must have been
No, it was obviously, beforehand we didn't know, but again, it doesn't matter fighting or no, anywhere you fight, you just give your heart anyway.
how important is it though? You know, if a fighter does have an injury for a substantial amount of time, say they're out 1-2 years, how important is it for them to come back strong? And what goes into that process within training camp and you know, your nutrition, your diet, taking
All right.
care.
So basically, 3rd of July, I'm doing my comeback after 2019 fight in
Yeah,
2 years. And I'll tell you something.
yeah,
Because I dislocate my shoulder, 100% that doesn't help. That doesn't help me.
yeah.
It's a glory that hurts even more. It's the glory that you want to fight. That you not quit because it's not quitting. It's an injury. It's like a accident. You can't really do anything. But I think everyone who step in the ring, um, they just cannot give up. They just they want to fight. They fight until they cannot do it. That's why I'm doing it. I cannot I cannot stop training, or I just want to hit the bag. I just want to now I'm thinking with completely different mentality as when I was fighting. Like it's more clear. I can see different things. I can fight differently. I can spar differently. I can train differently.
Yeah.
Um, and then I think obviously is an accident, but that grows me a lot.
No, it does.
And I think I'm more mature than I used to be when I was fighting. So I think I'm ready to do it. Now, in terms of what is going on in your head, oh God, it's going so much. I just want to train. I just want to fight, And then obviously nutrition wise, I'm working with nutritionists. I'm actually on a very good shape. I feel confident. Um, but there is a fine line of being, cocky and confident. Um, I do feel great, and I can look forward for my comeback.
I look forward to it too. Which
That's going to be 3rd of July in
Right.
Danforth, Luton.
Right.
It's on Amir show. It's going to be a SFS Super Fight Series.
Nice. I'm excited for that, man. I'm excited to see you fight. So Zaba, I mean, when we talk about injuries, and of course, you know, it sort of scares fighters a lot. You know, after they do get injured and they return, you know, shit. Well, I have to, you know, especially in kickboxing, you're purely stand up. Yeah, if you're in MMA and you're coming back from an injury, yeah, you could just take someone down and lie on
Yeah.
top of them. But in kickboxing, of course, purely stand up. Does that have an impact on the stance you'll be using, whether you'll be orthodox or southpaw, you know, weapons you'll be throwing the whole time?
That's a tricky question. I'm not going to answer it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to give it. Well, yeah, 100%. I've have changed my game plan. Not game plan, just the way I'm training. Sometimes you need to change combinations. Like a couple of other like back in the days, I had a favorite combination, which is now I can't really use that often. But yeah, 100% having an injury is just holding you back of doing things. However, if you have a sport like I have a whole team behind me, which is I'm very glad I have. I have someone in that team Hardiman, which is in Luton, is a
Nice.
very good osteopath. I have now a strength conditioning coach who is working around my shoulder, Matt Murphy. So I think we are on the right track. Obviously, I'm excited to go back, try new things, because now I'm not looking at anymore as oh yeah, we're gonna fight. I'm looking at it more like I have the experience. I have to go and enjoy it. And then that's what I'm gonna do.
yeah, definitely,
Plus,
man.
always, I'm coming from a Taekwondo background, so definitely my legs is my advantage. So it's a good time to use them.
Yeah, you utilize your kicking game a lot more for sure, man. But that's what I want to talk about that too, because when I watch kickboxing, whether it be One or whether it be Glory, I always see guys use some guys use the same approach, which is stand at a close range and
Yeah,
throw combinations at each other. You
yeah,
know, and I always think about fighting smart. And then sort of, you know, if you're the longer fighter, you want to keep distance, or if you're the shorter fighter, you want to get inside. What is?
But what if you know both?
Pardon?
You know, but what if you know both styles? If you're short, then you can find from decent. What if you're short, then you can find from close? Doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. I mean, obviously you need to train. You need to train smart, and then you train technical.
Yeah.
I was never like a KO guy. You're never gonna see me like staying in a fight and then on the pocket and then just exchanging punches. I was more clever. Like get the points, win clever, and then have like more longevity in like fighting wise.
Yeah.
It's just you just need to understand what style it suits you. My style, I started from taekwondo and I started with karate, so it was more point fighting, and then I just transferred the point fighting into K1. However, I know and I knew that I need to put more work for my boxing. And then I'm not saying I do still using my punching, I do still all these kind of things like punching combination, but I like using. It's not because I feel more comfortable, because I just get used of, working my legs more.
Yeah, man. And when you do have two different types of styles, when you do have a point fighting style versus a guy who just comes at you and puts pressure on, how important is it, round after round to keep your opponent guessing and sort of say, you know what, I did this in round one, round two, I'm going to come out, probably use a different weapon. How important is that to keep it to change it up a lot during rounds?
Obviously being able, like having your opponent guessing, and then not being telegraphing or like predicting what are you going to do is very important. If I always do kicks at the body, then this is where you just need to change your game plan. And then it was one of my fights in China. It was we went with a proper plan. First round is going to be all of them was low kick. Then second round it was middle kick, and then this is where we just mixing up. And then it was a less head kick to the head, which is a dropping knockout. 100% you need to have, you just need to pick up what's your style, and then you just need to work on your style.
Yes.
So pick up what you like. Do you like just fighting? Do you like just moving around like I do? And then how can we improve your style?
I think no, that's a brilliant answer right there. Because you gotta, of course, do what works for you at the end of the day, and sort of refine it and polish it up. But yeah, man, Giannis, Bri, thank you so much, man, for your time. Thank you for coming on this show.
To speak.
It was great talking to you, man, and getting a different perspective on combat sports. And of course, you're my first like pure kickboxer, man, to come on the show. So it was actually a great to speak to you, man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that for your time. It was awesome. It was a good catch up, and then back to training, back to fighting, and let's see what's happening.
I wish you all the best of luck. I wish you all the best of luck in July, mate, and wish you all and have a good day, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Have a great one.
You too, brother.